Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer retro game review video, and for this one it's A.P.B, All Points Bulletin, which was released in 1989 by Domark. Yes, well, of course we all know how good Domark are, and this utterly pathetic title screen doesn't inspire a great deal of confidence. Now, music and sound was by David Whittaker, who was clearly having a very off day. Yeah, audibly this game is pathetic. It's as pathetic as this title screen. Anyway, let's get the game underway. Now, unfortunately, the game is a multi-load. It does have quite a lot of multi-load. And again here, at the selection of which day to start, it looks awful. Let's just sort this mic out. Certainly, you know, it doesn't even begin to compare with the arcade original. And the arcade original was always a game that I thought was mediocre but nothing remarkable. Anyway, we may as well start at day one. Day one is little more than a practice. You just hit the cones with your siren like target thing. You'll see it when it comes up. The multi-load is coming along, so you just have to wait for each level. Here we go. So, just push fire over that, and your sight that says pull over then means that you, well, basically tell them to do that. Normally, it's not a good idea to do what I'm doing here, which is to drive along with the siren going all the time, because if you're trying to catch the criminals, they won't do anything, or they won't do anything illegal if you've got the siren going. So it's handy to have it do that if you're, if you finish a level and are trying to get back. But yeah, it's not a good idea to do it all the time. So, finished that one early, no surprise, and now we have to go after the litter bugs in those pink cars. Just hit them once with the siren and you've arrested them. Of course, having to avoid all the other cars. If you hit any car, including litter bugs, without your siren going, you get a demerit. There are other bonuses around, money bags giving you extra money, believe it or not. And there's a money bag there. We'll pick that up. Give us 500. So stop him. Stop him. Now the donuts, along with donut shops, if you drive through those, you will get extra time. If you pick up the hitchhiker, it counts as helping. Drive through that sign to get the bonus there, or get the try and get the extra time for that one. I have 2 more litter bugs to get my quota for the day. There's one here. Music starts telling me I'm close to having my quota. Got it. So now I need to get back to the station. Here it is. Find my parking spot, wherever that is. Doesn't look like there was one at that station. So in that case I might as well just keep going, and it means I won't get an early bird bonus. What I could have done was turn around and gone back the other way, but the game is not easy to control when you're doing that. I've got better acceleration, which I've just bought. Not essential, at least not this early on. good idea to be going along this side road, because I want to head back to parking spot. So it doesn't matter at the moment if I run out of time. If you run out of time without having completed your quota, then it's game over. Get extra gas. You do actually need to stop there, but you get a bit of extra just driving through, so... Okay, looks like time's up. So I won't get any early bird bonus, but I will get, at least to get the completion. Now, as you can see, the multi-load is pretty intrusive. This is now the main crook we need to get. In fact, if you get the rest of the quota, you don't have to worry about getting him. Although you do get a hefty points bonus if you get him. Anyway, so you've seen the graphics, you've seen the gameplay, you've heard the sound, and you've seen the very intrusive multi-load. So, let's get on with the review. Graphically, I think it is appalling. This game came out in 80... Oh, I've just got to demerit. This game came out in 89, but you wouldn't fucking know it to look at it. It looks, it looks abysmal. Graphically, it is fucking hideous. And for a game that came out in 89, there is no reason for it looking like this. It sounds awful. I mean, the gameplay is tolerable, I mean, as far as gameplay goes, it's a fairly faithful conversion of the arcade original. It's just that the arcade original didn't exactly have a hell of a lot going for it. It was a pretty mediocre game at best. Yeah, graphics wise and sound wise, this Commodore 64 version is just atrocious, and there really is no excuse for it. So when you hit something, you just stop, boom, nothing else happens. Look at that is awful. While the music is playing, there's no other sound at all. And I still haven't finished my quota yet. I've got to get like I've got to help somebody, either a hitchhiker or someone with a pram or something. I've got to get it quick. There we are. Alright, so that's the quota done, but no sign of the the mission guy that I'm meant to go after, and that's nothing new. That's another problem with the conversion, is that finding the people who you're supposed to try and get is pretty tricky. I mean, in the arcade version, the first couple were always quite easy to find. It was only after, like, say, the third and onwards that it got pretty tricky. But on this, okay, so we now go to the next level, where instead of litterbugs, we now also have honkers, and you have to hit them twice with the siren to arrest them. And yeah, you see that, okay, yes, from the top down you can make out it's supposed to look like a New York taxi, but I mean, it's still, rigidly square. Everything looks awful. So I've got to get 6 honkers and a hitchhiker. And I mean, the thing, the siren sound is awful. It doesn't sound anything like a siren of any kind. you also don't have any idea of when you have got a demerit, because okay, it comes up on the side there, but you can't hear it. Get out of the fucking way. See, they won't move. And controlling the car is pretty tricky as well. And using the gun is also quite a tricky affair. I still need to get 2 of these honkers. There's one there we go, right, so there's one. To fire the gun you have to push the fire button in quick succession, which is easier said than done. I've just got to get the hitchhiker now, and then I've done my quota for this one. There he is. There we go. Another hitchhiker. Oh, fucking get out of the way, you fucking cunt. So I would have got quite a bit of extra time there, but no. So my time is now very low. And there's my parking space, so I get in there, so I can get a bit of an early bird bonus. Not much of one, but so the only thing I haven't been able to show you is when you do arrest the main character, you then got to do a bit of fast button mashing in order to try and get him to confess to his crime, and that's the game. Okay, there's a little bit more you know, to do than your average sort of driving game. It's not just, you know, race from A to B as quickly as possible, but as a conversion it looks awful, it looks extremely basic, the sound is terrible, it's easily David Whittaker's worst work that I've ever heard, and I just think, you know, what was he thinking? I don't know what made him, you know, say, yeah, I'll do this one, because he's well, by the looks and sounds of it, he really wasn't that interested in doing it. You know, it's a very half-hearted effort, as everything about the game is. I mean, this is the car going at full speed. So this is how fast it is. You know, I'm not just going slowly to try and do the, you know, try and get the missions done. This is as fast as I can go. If I can arrest this one. Yeah, so that's all of the honkers that I need to get. Now I just need to get one hitchhiker, and I've done this quota, because I only need, I can only take one more hit and then I'm out for the count. So I think I'll get extra time for driving through there. Yeah, I did. And looks like game over, because presumably because I fired a shot. So there you go, that's A.P.B, All Points Bulletin. Looks awful, sound is dreadful, and gameplay is pretty dreary because it's so slow, and it's really not a very good conversion. I mean, compared to some Domark games, it's brilliant. It's just that those Domark games you compare it to, that's, you know, shit like these Zybots and, of course, hard driving. So I will give this game 2.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not as good to, you know, reach the lofty heights of 3 out of 10, but I have played a lot worse, I must admit. So yeah, 2.5 out of 10 for this thing. So that's A.P.B. And that brings this video to an end. we'll see you at the next one.